Today we're going to talk about recursion. Now I know it's a concept many developers struggle with in the beginning, but I've found that through using really simple visual aids, it becomes really clear really fast. So, imagine there's a building with a base and 4 floors, each holding one resident that contains a certain value. So you go to floor number 4 and you ask the resident, what's your value? And he says, that's easy. Simply take the number of my floor and add to it the value of the guy beneath me. You ask him, what's your value? He says, oh, it's easy. Take the number of my floor and add it the value of the guy beneath me. And so it goes until you get to the base. The guy at the base floor says, my value is 0. So you take that answer, you go back up 1 floor, 1 plus 0 is 1. You take that answer, you go back 1 floor, 2 plus 1 is 3. That answer go up, 3 plus 3 is 6. You take that answer, you go up, 4 plus 6 is 10. Let's see how it looks in the code. So this is our function, sum2, and we're gonna call it with the parameter of 4 at the first time. So what will happen is, if n is equals 4, it's not our base case, so we're gonna return 4 plus the result of the function when we pass 3. Now we're gonna back this process again. We passed 3. 3 is not the base, so we're gonna get back 3 plus the same function when we're gonna pass 2. And this is the process you saw earlier until n equals 0. So n is the base, and then we return 0. And in this case, we go all the way up, and we get 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 4 plus 6 is 10. Let's take a look at another function just to make sure you understand it. So again, we have our 4-story building. This time, when we go to the 4th floor, the guy says, take my floor number and multiply it by the value of the guy beneath me. And he says the same thing. And this time when we get to the base says my value is 1. So again, we go back up. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And 4 times 6 is 24. This is called the factorial method. Really useful math concept, and let's see how it looks in the code. So this is our function. Again, we passed the parameter 4. So 4 is not 0, it's not the base. So we're gonna get back 4 times the same function, but this time with the parameter of 3, which will go through the same process you've just witnessed until n equals 0, which is our base case, and it's gonna return 1. We're gonna take that value up in the chain. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 6 is 24. Another way to look at it would be that factorial 4 is equivalent to writing 4 times factorial of 3, which is like saying 4 times 3 times factorial of 2, and so on and so forth until we get to the base, which is 1, and that's where the function ends or exits. 2 things to bear in mind when you deal with recursive functions. One is that you must have a base case. Otherwise, what will happen is, if you're going to try to run this function, it's just going to keep on repeating itself forever, and you will get this message, maximum call stack size exceeded, what we call stack overflow. The next thing to bear in mind is that even if you have a base, you need to be moving towards it. So for example, if I'll do this, again, I will get stack overflow. And if you think about it, that makes sense, because for simplicity's sake, let's say we pass in factorial 2. So what will happen is that we go to this guy and we ask him what's his value, and he will tell you, ask the guy on top of me. And he will say the same thing, and he will say the same thing until you just go on up, and you will never reach your base. So hopefully you have a clearer understanding of what's recursion and how to deal with it. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video if you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video when we'll look at some more complicated examples of recursion and how to solve them.